know what's
Yeah.
happening.
Come on,
I was there.
Dog.
All right, we said all right.
Mentally.
I'm there. I didn't want to. Previously on Curse of Strahd, you began in Vallaki as you were walking through the streets. What? Vallaki. As you were walking through the streets of Vallaki, you were on your way back to the Blue Water Inn, where, after a brief moment of searching the rooms, you were able to find Anna Lee in her bed, once again sleeping. After some bizarre night, she went missing. There, moments later after she awoke, you decided to go to Argynvostholt with your wife Lenore in order to fetch the dowry that her father promised you. The two of you were-ravens took off, and Anna Lee, coming downstairs to meet with Rillirn, decided that they would spend the day in Vallaki, help Rillirn with his enchantment that he had to perform on himself in order to keep Vladimir in his place. After a brief discussion with Vladimir, some conflict, the two of you then decided that you were going to go to Krezk at Vladimir's behest. He said that he knew the Abbott is someone who's lived much longer than most, and he just might know who this Tatiana would be. On your way to Vallaki, you were stopped on the road by a Vistani wagon who carried a passenger. To quite your surprise, it was Strahd von Zarovich, the Lord himself. Vladimir turned, recognizing this, just after the wagon pulled away with Anna inside. There you had to step out of the road just enough for the wagon to pass by. Calming his temper, you proceeded onwards towards Krezk. Meanwhile, Amadeus, you were in Argynvostholt, where you had an encounter with Adrian, who, now saying that he apologizes, entrusted you with going to Yester Hill to retrieve the seed of the Wizard of Wines winery. This seed is a magical item that allows the grapes to grow for them to create this wine in a sunless environment. The druid stole it, they don't know what purpose, but on your way to Yester Hill with your wife, you were able to hold on to the holy symbol of Ravenkind. There at the hill, things went awry. An arrow was misshot, your wife's arm was taken by the Gulthius tree. And your sister, after spending some time with Strahd in the Vistani wagon, having his fortune read to her in hymn, she proceeded on top of a flaming horse named Bucephalus to the top of Yester Hill, where Strahd showed Anna who she was and the kind of power that she held over the other people of Barovia. The two of them, in tale, murdered a large swath of the camp, drinking from them freely, until she came across a wounded woman without an arm. Turning her gaze to Lenore, Amadeus, you stepped in front of her and tackled your sister. You drove her to the ground, but Anna was stronger than you. She then turned on top of you, drinking your blood. If not for the symbol in your pocket beginning to burn brightly, you grabbed it and held it up, and for the first time used the holy symbol of Ravenkind, shining like the morning sun. The two vampires, Strahd von Zarovich and your sister, Tatiana, flew off into the night. At the same time, Rillirn, you were on your way to Krezk when you came across your master, Mordenkainen. He was changed, mad, crazy. He began casting random spells at you. In his violence, he destroyed most of your body, but only by the sake of Vladimir, were you able to withstand all this damage? Your face being ripped, your flesh torn. You, in a moment of desperation, cast up your hands, and for the first time, was able to control everything about you. You stopped time for a brief moment and were able to escape. You fled the scene on your way to Krezk. You know your body is vastly deteriorated. When dawn comes, you, Rillirn, will officially be dead. There's not much
Dawn yet?
It's not dawn yet.
Starting to get already dawn. Well, the sun came
And with that, we are going to go first to Anna Lee.
Gosh, I wasn't ready.
Maybe.
Oh gosh, I'm not ready.
Did you hear what just happened?
I know you're dead.
Shut up. Don't say it like that.
Okay, you're still alive for a little bit.
Anna,
Appreciate it.
you have very little memory of what occurred the night before. In a strange moment in the mist, you step forth and feel the sun across your face. You turn to its warmth and breathe the cool, moist morning air. You hear the sound of water trickling in a stream and tumbling over rocks into a pool out before you. And there before you, his back turned to you, you see him. Your fiance. He's kneeling, looking down into the water. You see he has something in his hands, resting on his knees. I can't think of how long I wish this war to be over. Now that it is, so much has changed. You recognize his voice, but it's softer than you remember. He stands and turns to you, and you see him in his youth. His face not hardened, cold, pale, as in death. He comes to you, his sword, gilded, truly fanciful weapon, with wings that spread out as a cross guard and a golden sheath. I shouldn't need it anymore. He turns and throws it off into the pool. It crashes with a swoosh, the water rippling out. He goes to you, stands there before you, and pulls you in close. I don't want to do anything else with my life now. You feel him slide as he goes down on one knee before you. He goes then into his breast pocket and he pulls out a very ornate ring. As he looks up to you, all you can do is feel yourself nod yes, overwhelmed by the memory of it. As he smiles up at you, his teeth bright, his eyes lit with color. You're suddenly plunged into darkness. Your eyes open, and you see nothing. You go to move, and your arms press through cold liquid. You press against the sides of a stone box. What do you do?
Try and push up.
Yeah, you can.
Push up.
You press before you,
Oh my god.
and you hear the of stone. You recognize its cold, rot flesh as you press, and the whole thing slides. Your fingers slick with it. And the smallest hint of blue light comes shining in from a small crack, and yet even that light illuminates the room suddenly before you. Images flash in sudden memory as you recognize what happened. You're in a mausoleum inside a sarcophagus of stone. You don't know whose, but you remember that night. Strahd, his face cold. His bone seems pressed up against through the skin. His eyes sunken black as he stands there, his arms at his side as they drain every bit of blood from him into that coffin. Moments later, you were sealed inside, and you went to sleep in the warmth of it.
That's your boyfriend.
We will now go
That sounds terrible.
to Amadeus.
God damn it, let's screw that. No, you can't ever come to me because I'm just gonna die.
He's just dead. Amadeus, you soar through the night sky. The wind, cold, rushing up through your arms, through the feathers, as they ripple, and you hear them as if a flag beaten by the wind. You recognize figures below, casting their gaze up to you. The druids, as they watch you. You go over the land, all the while conscious that in your talons held beneath you is that of your wife. A small black raven, smaller than you remember. Her breathing faint. You can tell she's in pain. And you try to shake off all sense of it, otherwise your eyes might become foggy. You have to stare straight. Eventually, you see off in the distance Argynbostholt, the large mansion portraying the blue hue of moonlight. As you soar ever closer, you recognize again that light from the amulet as it shines out over Barovia. It brings the dawn, and sunlight touches the grass, and for the first time it no longer looks an ugly shade of gray, but there might be some green in it. You touch down, pulling Lenore up close to you. And as you do, you see more ravens swarming about as they fly out of the trees. They sound like laughter. As they come in, people greeting you. It's him! It's him! He's back! Look at him! It's their son. I haven't seen it in so long. I haven't seen it. I've never seen it. Look at it. Amadeus! Amadeus, you're back! Do you have the seed? You do, I can see it!
I do. There, take it. Do I have my wife in my hands, or?
You do, tucked there.
We need to take care of Lenore right now.
What do you mean? He's back! Look, he's back!
Listen.
Look at
Her arm's gone. I couldn't stop.
You don't know this young man's name, but he takes a couple steps back. You see Elvira press forward. What happened? He goes and takes her from you.
It happened. I'll tell you later.
Okay, quickly to the burrow. Come. He goes running off. Hadrian! Hadrian, come quick! A crowd follows you, all leading up through the trees. Many of them casting their eyes to you, and still at that amulet as it flickers and shines out, just staring in awe at the sunlight. Others go and turn to Lenore, and they follow Elvir as he leads down to a small burrow tucked in underneath the brush. And there is a door of oak. He opens it with a pull, and the whole thing slides out, dirt skidding. You see inside it's a small lit hovel. In there, an older woman. What's wrong? Come here, child, come here. They lay her out, and then on the table, she puts a hand on her, whispering some words you don't understand. Do you turn back, or are you still in the raven form?
I'll turn back.
Okay. As you shift and molt, you see her laid out there on that table. The lantern light flickers, casting strange shadows as she grows and morphs and turns, feathers jutting out, jolting, until she begins to hyperventilate on the table and breathing, her clothes torn. Someone puts a blanket over her, but pulls out at her arm. Just stay still, child. Stay still. They go in and look at the stump. You hear this?
I did. Best I could.
Quicker, fetch the salve. You don't have the arm.
I looked for it. It was gone.
Lenore almost hiccups in the pain of it, just until someone places a hand on her head, wiping the salve down over her nose onto her lips. Just breathe.
Can I just go grab her hand?
Yeah. You do that. You hold it tight. Her hand is shaking. It's cold from the flight. As you do, though, you catch the faintest turn of her head as her breath slowly calms. She looks at you, her eyes filled with tears brimming. She blinks once, and they run out. Her breath goes still. Adrian comes into the room then. What happened?
We had some struggles getting to see. Fortunately, her arm was taken off.
He goes over to her and puts a hand on the table. I'm sorry. He takes a few steps back against the dirt wall of that hovel there. His eyes then go your side to that amulet as it hangs there. You are who they say you are, then.
Yes, so?
I'm sorry I doubted you. He goes and turns to the door, goes to open it. He stands there in the doorway. will see to it that you have your dowry. Just a moment, let me go fetch it. He goes, leaving the room. You see outside a pair of children as they cling to their mother's skirt, Brahm and Bray. Danica stands there, the two of them, petting Brahm's hair. She looks to you, just nods. She passes the younger boy to his brother and steps towards the door. Coming in, she places a hand on it. I can't begin to imagine what you're going through. It's one thing to lose someone. It's another. If you don't want to stay here, we are planning to go back to Valaki.
I think I'd rather stay. For now.
I mean, the two of you.
Oh, absolutely. Totally thought you would lose me. I was like,
No, of course not.
there's no implications there.
I'll make arrangements. We'll create some sort of sling or something to carry her. The two of us, we cannot fly in with our raven forms, but perhaps we come close and then we walk inside.
That'd be smart.
Stay the night here, perhaps, but on the morrow.
That'd be best. Thank you.
She takes one last look at Lenore. You can tell her eyes are horrified to see her arm missing. She turns quickly away and closes the door, going back to her children. She ushers them off. You hear them leave. You're left there alone in the hovel, though you do hear others outside. Would you like to do anything?
Is Lenore awake? She's kind of out.
She's mostly out. You can see the faintest bit of movement in her face. It's her eyes, she seems to twitch in pain. The night is long. You find yourself sitting on a bench, just watching her. She has sudden jolts of movement. You hear her voice raise in sighs of pain. She comes and goes from sleep.
Can I heal her at all, or that?
You could, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna use. Oh my gosh, it's a 2. I'm gonna get it roll twice. Okay, good. That's a good 2. It's gonna be 5.
5? Okay.
What terrible rolls. I'm never good with a D10. Oh, great. It's alright.
With 5, you see her face relax. So you raise your hand. Describe what it looks like.
I think I'm just gonna put my hands on her. Just the one on. I'd say one on her arm, where she got hurt, and then one on just her shoulder.
Okay. What does the magic look like as you proceed to heal her?
Just gonna like I don't know, just a color. It's like a red color, kind of vibrating out of my hands.
Okay. Yeah. Kind of pulsates
Yeah.
and runs up and down her arm for a moment. You can tell her face gets uncomfortable. Feel it. She goes, her eyes seem to blink but in no serious direction until, with a sigh, her face seems to relax and she passes again into sleep. The rest of the night seems to go calmly. That is until about 6 in the morning, when she starts to stir. Her face pinches at first, She twists, you hear the scuffing of her head against the wooden table. It wakes you up from your daze. You see her kind of hunch over on the table.
I'm just gonna run over to her, hold her quick.
You do that. You grab her and she begins to shake. It hurts, please, it hurts, please.
Really don't worry. I'm gonna heal it again.
Okay.
Put that like that. Oh my gosh, dude. 2. What are these rolls?
With that, you put your hand out,
I have more
and
slots.
as that red glow emanates, you see it cast across her face, and it wrinkles in pain. She screams, and as her voice trails off, she passes again into sleep. You hear someone at the door. They knock just gently.
Who's there?
It's Adrian.
Come in.
The door scuffs open as he steps just up to the threshold. There he pulls out a sizable coin purse. It's the dowry, and then there's some more for you.
I appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you. Do you have this seed?
I do have to say yes. Pull it out.
He takes it from you and looks at it. I'll see it gets to Davian. Danica tells me you are going to Vallaki.
That is the plan.
Be safe.
We'll do our best.
He goes and turns from you, walking out the door, and just outside you see Danica with the boys. They look packed and ready to go. They carry each of them in little bags on their backs. And with that, we will now go
Let's go,
to Rillirn.
Oh, God.
Rillirn, it's a long night. You can tell dawn is coming soon. As you've walked on the Svalich Road, your feet are now frozen numb, sore up through your calves. You feel the burning sensation of frostbite on your nose as you continue to walk further and further west to Krezk. You come up against a tall cliffside with a stone abbey carved into the side of it. Just below, there are several tall pine trees, all of them crested with snow. And before that, a tower gate with stone walls surrounding it. You come closer and closer. You see that gate is manned. You see the breadth of them. The guards, as they walk back and forth, still holding their lanterns. The sky is turning from black to the faintest hue of gray, as the sun somewhere off beyond the horizon threatens to warm it, but doesn't quite reach. You know dawn is coming soon. What do you do?
I'd like to walk up to the gate to one of the men that's manning it then. Or is it just one?
As you walk up to the gate, you in fact see two of them. One sort of further off to your left, and one sort of near the tower on your right. He stands there in the doorway, shivering, He has a blanket pulled up over him. He holds a lantern out to his side, trying to get any of the warmth of it.
I'd like to go up to that guy then. Hello, sir.
What's your business here?
I need help, please.
Find it elsewhere.
Please, I cannot go anywhere else.
And I cannot let you in.
Please, help me. Let me in.
These walls are to remain sealed per the burgomaster's request.
You can help me out? I'm literally dying here right now.
I fear you'd bring that death upon us.
It's not a sickness that I bring. Please.
Who do you serve? What master?
I serve the Morning Lord.
An enemy of Strahd, then?
Indeed, yes. Please.
We have no need to make more enemies of Strahd. Nor do we have need to help those who seek his alliance. Find help elsewhere.
Please, I don't
Try
have,
please.
I don't have
That's a
time.
good one. That's a good one.
You see
You're my
him.
only hope.
He wanders over. Looking at the other man, they begin to discuss it quietly. You see one of them nod. What's your name?
My name is Rillirn.
Learn what?
That's it. I don't tell my last name.
Okay.
Just Rillirn.
Very well, we're fetching the burgomaster. You can wait here.
How long will that take? I don't have much time.
He goes and kind of just turns away from you.
How far away is he?
He is roughly 40 feet.
I message him and I say, tell me where. Tell me how long it will be.
Oh! Sorcerer! Sorcerer! He goes and storms back into that door there. He goes and sets the lantern down and begins fidgeting with his keys. As he opens the door, it scuffs loudly open. He picks up the lantern, goes inside. Sorcerer!
Is it still open?
It is for a brief second until.
I wouldn't have been able to move quick enough.
Yeah,
He's like 50 feet away.
Do you do anything? In the meantime, you're left there alone.
Unless they're just all alone. Are either the lanterns still there? Or did they
Not that you
take
can
them?
see.
It's a gate. Why would I knock on it? I'd like to go over to the lock on the gate and kind of. Would I be able to use Mage Hand to finagle my way into that gate?
It is a solid wooden gate. There's no lock on the outside.
Oh, it's just like a heavy
It's
gate
a
then?
heavy, solid wooden gate. You would imagine there would be some sort of large wooden latch on the back.
Oh, I do have my floating disc.
Is that a cantrip?
No, I don't have. I have nothing.
Slide on fire.
How?
It's wood.
How?
You have the
Where's my spell book, Jordan?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
In Velocity. I'm useless right now.
You forgot about that.
After some time,
I'll wait.
it's around 15, 20 minutes, you eventually see a guard come back. He's on his way.
And how long will that be, please? Really?
However long he takes.
There's no way of knowing how long that will be. You walk down here yourself.
He's
you would
on
know.
his way.
Fine. Okay.
You wait another 30 minutes pass.
God.
You're standing out there and you see that sky grow lighter and lighter until you see another set of lanterns press the top of the gate, and out comes a man, maybe in his late 50s. His hair slicked back gray. He has a large wolfskin pelt. So he raises it up over his side and presses it up to his ears. State your business here.
I'm merely looking for some help. I'm literally dying right now, and I just need a little bit of healing, of help, anything that you can provide.
Provide help?
I will pay for it. I'll give you something for it in return. That way it's not you just doing it for me.
Sir, we have no need of your money here. We have need of safety. That is why we are here in this walled city.
I can help with safety then. I can help. I'll do anything that you need. If you could please just help me right now.
Roll for persuasion.
Okay, what is that? 13.
13. He goes and turns to another man. They discuss things briefly.
So, real quick, before you move on with that, could I know if he succeeded or not, and if not, Crown will shift it? Or do we want to just have
Yeah,
it
he
roll?
turns back to you and goes, I'm sorry, sir. There's nothing more that we need than safety. I can't let you in.
I can help provide that.
We can't take that chance.
Please, I have
See
no-
yourself back east.
How far away is he?
40 feet.
Please, sir, is there not anything that you can do? Is there nothing that you could do to help me? You're just going to let a man die out here in front of your... I'm not moving, so I'm just going to die right here in front of your gate.
Better than to have more of us die in here, sir. Have a good day, sir.
How would I make any more death happen in there?
Have a good day, sir.
No, let me in. Can I intimidate him?
Yeah, roll for it.
Okay, it's not gonna work, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Oh, holy crap, 21. There it is.
Nice.
Okay, you roll to intimidate him.
Yes.
Yeah, your voice comes out stronger than you remember. You can't even think that it was maybe aided by Vladimir, or perhaps somewhere deep inside you, you had that same voice as it barks out, "Let me in!" With that, a sort of jolt as it echoes off the side of the walls and out across the canyon. Takes a few more steps back there. He turns, putting the hood of it over his head.
Okay, so I still have Vladimir like here, right? So like I have his enhanced strength.
Vladimir is not present as far as you know. For some reason, he hasn't talked to you for the last several hours that you've been walking through the night. You've not sensed his presence.
Is the Burgermaster still within 120 feet?
He's not within sight.
He's not within sight. Oh, okay. Is there a way around the gate? Or is it like...
This is a large stone gate that goes up, and you see it kind of turn into wooded area up there. You assume that it proceeds until this raw cliff face begins to protrude from the mountainside.
Would I be able to see if there's any weak points in the wall to try to knock it down? Or
Sure,
the
first
door.
roll for Constitution.
Okay. 22.
22. With that, you're shivering, and you note that you're still shivering, which is a good thing. But as you're
Oh god.
walking around the city, you don't see any weak points necessarily in the wall, as far as it might have taken damage, but you do see, in fact, there's a tree that's grown maybe a bit closer to the wall than they should have allowed.
So I'd be able to like climb up and over it
Potentially,
then?
yeah.
I take it. I'm gonna try to climb up
Roll
it.
for dexterity.
Okay, I still have a bonus for that at least. Unnatural 20.
Yeah,
It was an 18 plus 2.
Okay.
Sorry.
Gotcha. You climb that, your fingers now raw. You feel them stiff, and then you don't feel them anymore. So you continue to climb up this tree. You go to wipe at something tickling at your face, maybe a tree branch, and you realize again there's a hole in your cheek.
Oh my
You go and continue to climb further until you find the tree branch that proceeds to poke out closer to the wall there. You think if you climb along it, stand up, you might be able to jump, just barely make it onto that wall.
I'd like to try that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a acrobatics check.
You got nothing left.
Can I chronal shift it?
Sure.
Excellent.
What do you get?
What
That's
is
a
it?
1.
Smart man.
Thank you. Nice. So I have 2 uses of it.
What
Yeah,
is it?
do
A
it.
one?
Roll a
You got
2.
2.
Yeah.
Hey, worst thing, worst, you got 3 this time.
Yeah, there.
I'm gonna say I shouldn't have let you re-roll one. So,
Well.
you take the 2.
Fine. Okay, so
You
that's
go
4
out.
then.
Okay. As you
That's
walk
bad.
out onto that branch, climbing, you begin to start to stand up. As you do, your fingers are so stiff. Your legs, you feel your hamstring, it cramps. And before you can even stand up, you go spinning off that tree. You go to grab at it. You feel something tear skin, slough off your hand as you plummet then. And with a hard, you hit the ground.
Right
in
in the
a
walls.
thin layer of snow. No, you're not. You lay there, eyes cast up at the sky. When you see a face. Just barely in the haze of your vision. It's a strange face, flawless, a man. Something's odd about him. He has the youthfulness of a child, and at the same time, something in those eyes lets you know that he's very much a man.
Santa?
This is Santa?
His bells jingle. No. And your vision fades black.
It's nice knowing you, buddy.
Yeah. I'll come find you later.
We'll have a
No.
proper funeral.
We are going to go back to Anna Lee.
It's so stressful on all parts.
Zen Master G over here.
When you find me, all I will be is a pocket watch.
That was a 1.
There will be no body.
We will cherish his pocket watches.
Yeah, you better.
You crawl from that grave, a mausoleum, as you feel yourself wet with blood. You stand there, raise a hand, press it up against that mausoleum door, and you feel it very much sealed. What do you do?
Can I like just look away? What's my surroundings?
You look around inside, and it's a pretty plain box, although the walls are made out of a very nice marbled stone. Most every crack sealed, except for, it seems, perhaps some water had trickled inside, frozen, and split the faintest bit of stone, letting in the smallest light.
Is there was no one else with me in the sarcophagus?
No.
Anything above me? Nothing but that door and that light.
There's that
basically.
single wall where that crack is, and you assume that would be the door as it is at your feet.
Am I able to see through the hole?
You raise up, looking through the hole, you see the faintest bit of moonlight. And out there you can hear trickling of water.
Can I try the door? Can I try pushing against it?
Yeah, roll for strength.
Yeah. There. 9.
9.
Yeah.
With a 9, you put your weight against it and you slip as you hit it. But with that thud, you hear dust and mortar crumble. It was freshly sealed. You can hear the sound of it. It will move if you try again.
I'm gonna try again. 16.
Yeah, this time as you press against it, the whole thing pushes out, stands for a brief second, and then topples over onto the ground. It splits then into 3 large slabs. More goes skidding out. The sound of it, it startles you as every sense seems hyper aware. You stagger there for a moment, and in the moonlight, look down as you are completely encased in black ichor, the blood congealed to you. You're painted some off shade of black red.
And can I look at my surroundings?
As you step out, the moonlight at first is almost blinding to you, but you are suddenly accosted by the sound of a rushing stream tumbling over rocks. The faintest sound of a waterfall as it tumbles into this pool that you immediately recognize from your dream.
That's shocking.
Beyond it, you see several pine trees all scattered about, and off in the distance, the faintest glow of yellow tea lights and torches.
I'm gonna go to the pool. Can I wash off?
Yeah.
I wanna.
You step forward into that pool. As you go, you bend down, looking into the water for a brief
Yeah.
second.
Can I see if the sword's there?
As you look into that water, you're startled that it's so calm, and at the same time, there's no reflection. Meanwhile, you feel the presence of someone. You think maybe just beyond that veil, that mirror, your reflection still might be there, you might still be there. Someone's clearly there. As you push your hand into the water, it's frigid cold. No, it's not, it's burning. You see now that mist and fog that's roiled out about it. It's actually a hot spring as your hand singes and tingles from going from extreme cold to extreme warmth. You press your hand into it. And as you do, you feel this overwhelming sorrow as it escapes you. Perhaps it's some long forgotten memory of who you were. That isn't it. Maybe it's some thought, some feeling towards Strahd. Anguish at a life you missed with him. Whatever it is, as that sorrow pours forth, you feel yourself slide into that water there. And with it, the rain begins to pour out of the sky. Where there are no clouds before you, you look up at an empty sky and still it pours rain. Large drops as they tatter into your hair, you feel that blood washing out from you. You go then under the water and come up again and feel it, the hot singe of iron, that smell, that taste of it. And suddenly that feeling passes. continues to rain. What do you do?
Am I all like washed out? Like,
Yeah, you
washed
can
off?
spend some time, yeah. As much as you do wash, it's hard to tell in just the moonlight how clean you are, and you're soaked now, completely through. As you stand up, thinking you got the majority of it off of you, you walk them from the pool.
Mhm.
You walk out, and you hear the faint ringing of a bell off in the distance. As it rings out over the valley, you hear it from somewhere high up. You step around a few of the trees there, and you see it now a stone abbey carved into the mountainside.
That's exactly what I was. It's the middle of the night. Would I reckon would there be any recollection of this place from like past?
Not that you can put a name to, but yes, you very clearly have some sort of memory of it, especially of being here at this pool. You think it's where you were proposed to.
I'll just look back, at the pool, and then I'm gonna walk towards the bell, towards the sound. Isn't that where because there were like lanterns and stuff? Was that?
No, so you're inside. You're
Right
inside
now.
you're inside a walled gate. So you're inside. There's actually cottages as you begin to walk. You see there's a forest that's been planted inside these walls. Well, when you can fly, you can do these things.
Let me in my spell.
Oh, so I'm inside.
You're inside. Yeah. As you walk up that road, you then pass several cottages, almost picturesque. You see no real movement out of any of them, although lights stay lit, tea lights with large candles. As you see, unlike Vallaki, unlike the village Barovia, they must leave these lights on all through the night. In every single house, some of them out on their front doorsteps. It's this picturesque winter village as you go walking up these cobbled stones and eventually come up against the switchbacks that begin to lead high up to that abbey. Do you perceive?
That's the path I'm following. Just go. There's nowhere else to go.
You continue forward, and that bell continues to ring out. You forget to count when it stops, and you're left wondering what time it might be. Is it night? Is it day? It feels like it's still nighttime, but you don't know how long you were sealed inside that tomb. As you walk up those switchbacks, we will then go to Amadeus.
What a tease. Stop teasing me.
I wanted to be like, is this Tesser Pool? But I don't know anything about it except for that it's a sound.
Serapul? No. Serapul's where the Vistani were,
Oh.
that you first met.
Yes, I'll touch your feet.
Or more touching feet. Amadeus,
Free.
you feel that wind again rustling through your feathers as you set down on the ground just before the village, the city of Vallaki. You're far enough out, and Danica's transformed back to her human form with the boys. They go and they pull together their bags that they had been carrying just by their feet. They pull them up to their sides and step out from the edge of the forest, more towards the road. They turn back, and Danica looks to you. So you land there and begin to form back into your human form. Lenore, still a raven there on the ground. So you let her, do you go to try and turn her back, or what do you do with her?
Can she not turn her around?
She seems very much out of it, though she is awake. Her head kind of tossing, she looks, just stares there off into the grass. Yeah, do you say anything to her?
I'm just gonna call her name out.
Her eyes, cold black marbles. They turn to you in recognition and then begin to melt and turn again to brown. Her eyes shifting and growing, her hair, black presses from the feathers, and she morphs then into Lenore. She continues to lay there in the grass at your feet.
I'm gonna pick her up.
You do, and you see her wince. She only helps you the slightest bit, as if to keep herself steady. You pull her up, kind of hold her next to you. Her feet drag with every step as you walk with her out into the road.
Can I just pick her up, like, fully?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. You do that, and she has no protest. As Danica walks with the boys, she looks back at you just to make sure that you're coming. She walks forward and goes up to the gate. As she does, she doesn't have to say a word before the gate just opens. The guards have no protest. They don't say anything to her.
I'm going anyway.
And the 5 of you walk inside. The boys look at each other for a brief moment. One of them kind of begins to skip. Danica goes and whacks him on the head and tells him to stop. The younger one, Gray, he goes and kind of looks at his mom, like laughing a little bit, and she gives him a stern look, and he kind of just... As they continue to walk forward, you all make your way to the Blue Water Inn. She takes out her keys, goes to unlock it, and then realizes the door was unlocked. She turns back to you.
I didn't leave it unlocked.
She presses it open
Oh, shoot, that's us.
and puts a hand up to make sure no one's inside. She steps forward and pulls up at her skirt. A long knife sits there. Would you mind checking upstairs?
Of course.
She goes back, walking over to the kitchen. You take Lenore then up there? Or do you set her at one of the booths?
No, I'm gonna set everyone.
Okay. Kind of lay her down across this padded bench. Her head just goes limp, her hair sagging there across her face. She doesn't move it. She just stares then at the floor. You go and walk up these stairs and poking your head into each room. It dawns on you suddenly that the room that you were in, it's not the room you can use anymore. It's Danica's room, Erwin. You see the bed unmade and a few of the drawers pulled out.
Wait.
Oh, what do you do?
Did I already check every room?
Yeah, you did.
I'm just gonna go back downstairs.
Okay. You walk back down those stairs. You see Danica coming out of the kitchen. Anything?
It's clear up there. Rillirn must have just left it unlocked.
Go ahead and roll for perception.
Every 2 people that way.
Yeah. 8 plus 13.
You could have looked harder. You see a man step out of one of the rooms there. Rictavio, otherwise known as Van Rissen.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You see him there holding something in 2 burlap sacks, kind of tied off at his waist. He holds them back as they go bobbing. He walks down these steps. They knock against the balusters. It's like, come. What happened to her?
slight situation we had with some druids.
He goes over and walks boldly kind of up to her. He goes, takes her hair and kind of pulls it back across her face. Not so gently, but gently enough that it's not offensive.
Just smack it.
Yeah, so he kind of leans over her in the booth. Oh, I see. My condolences. Sorry.
Thank you. What are you doing here?
Well, he goes and pulls out from that bag. He sets it down on the table with a reaches his hand in and pulls up. The first thing you see is hair. 2 heads. As he tosses them out on the table, they sort of roll and flop. You see, recognizing them to be Vistani by their piercings and their slightly darker shade of skin, the slight tint of their eyes. Hardly have them shut up in life and in death. They don't seem to stop talking.
Why do you have those in your bag?
Well, you see, Vistani are little more than agents of Strahd, and once, well, the whole Mardukov situation changed, I need to turn to a new source of information. These 2 caught them on the road, bear traps. I took their heads with me, hoping they would have some sort of information I might extract, and indeed they did. I promised to return their heads to their corpses so they might be buried with their kin, if but they would tell me the secrets of what's been going on here. And funny enough, it seems I'd met another Vistani and not recognized it.
And who might that be?
Well, I was wrong about your sister. She's no concubine of the devil. She's something far worse, it seems. He goes and pokes one of their heads, shoving it across the table. It sort of rolls, and then boom, thuds on the ground.
Yes. Heard Strahd attacked me last night, actually.
Really?
Yes. Now, I don't know if she was fully aware of the situation, because she hasn't been in the past. It's not like her to come up and bite my neck and start draining me of my blood, but
Well, it may not be like your sister, but it's very much like her kind.
she's definitely changed.
Well, he goes and slaps you kind of roughly on the arm. Don't look too saddened by this. It's actually why I came. Don't think I'm angry. Can we talk somewhere private?
Yeah. Yes, we can.
He goes and looks over at Danica there. He kind of walks you over to another room. He goes and opens that door actually, and he's outside to the stable. There you see his horse pulled up, a gray speckled horse. His carriage nowhere to be seen, but he goes up and begins to pet the horse. Her mane, he goes and kind of brushes through it briefly before he turns and leans back against the wall. Oh, what do we do about your sister?
What do you mean?
Well, it's not every day a great advantage drops in one's lap.
What are you asking? To kill her?
Kill her?
No.
By the morning lord, no. Kill her, please. If we kill her, Strahd will come for us. No, I'm saying clearly he has some sort of affection for her that is greater than...
That is an understatement.
Yes, it is.
You
Well.
didn't know that. Pink hair.
Not actually pink.
I suggest that we proposition this situation for our own interests. Strahd has very few weaknesses, and weaknesses that we know about we might exploit. This is one we'd have to lay low. I would very much like to see your sister about this, though perhaps it would be best, from what I've heard, to keep it from her.
That probably is best. I don't know if she would like hearing any of that. At least any of your plans for.
We should use her to lay a trap. To be frank, we have the bait, and, well, according to the rumors I hear, we just might have the snare.
What rumors have you heard?
What do you have in your pocket?
That's not your business.
You, son, have made it everyone's business when you flew over Barovia carrying the light of a star.
That's fair.
You got me there, big top.
I'll pull it out. This was on my sister when we found her in the woods. My father gave it to me before he died. I guess as he was dying.
And the stranger brings the light of the morning Lord back to the land. You have heard the prophecy, no?
Yes, I have.
Well, with that, we just might have all the tools we need to dispatch him, though I suspect it would be too easy with that alone. We need to learn more.
Learn more about Strahd?
Yes, what do we do once we burn him with light? He's nothing like the other vampires. You see, he is patient one, as it were. I've gone about my life dispatching many of his kin, but they are all of the sorts different, each one of them slight variations on the other, your sister being no exception to the rule. And yet she is not quite like Strahd either.
Well, he did invite me for dinner.
Dinner?
Yes.
Did he pick a venue? There aren't many restaurants here in Vallaki.
His place.
Of course he did. Well, I sense the beginning of a plan about to hatch. Your sister, is she coming to this dinner?
Yes.
Good.
I don't know where she's at right now.
Well, that is a problem.
I don't know where Rillirn's gone off to either.
They left you.
I left them. I had some business to attend to. But they're not here.
Well, Bestie, think of a plan. He goes, stands up. He kind of slaps the butt of the horse as he walks past it. Goes, opens up the door, swings it open, and walks straight inside, leaving it open for you to follow him. You hear him off in the distance. Have anything to eat?
I don't know, you paying?
He doesn't respond to you.
Guess we got nothing to eat then.
Do you walk back inside?
Yeah, I walk back inside.
Okay. As you come back inside, you see Danica there with the boys. Of course they're talking. And she kind of goes back to the room there. He looks at you. What? It's not like a death can really stop. I paid for a month. I'm getting a month.
That's a fair point.
After some time,
He's awesome.
Danica goes back into the kitchen. and you hear her beginning to cook. You hear the roar of a stovetop fire being lit. What do you do? Sitting out there, Rictavio
I'm
and
gonna
Rickton
check out
sits
Lenore.
there.
She's still on the table?
Yeah, she's kind of still there, just laying on the booth. Her arm, her stump of an arm, kind of laid out. You see her eyes just looking at it.
I'm gonna pick her up.
Her hair just kind of drapes back as you pull her.
And then I'm gonna take her to one of the rooms upstairs. Just lay her down in bed.
As you pick her up and take her towards the steps, you hear a, what's this? Pulls out a piece of paper, left there on the table, right?
Yes.
I didn't.
Yep.
I knew it was there.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what are they
yeah.
gonna find
What was it? Gone to Krezk.
that? It just said
Love
Gone to
ya.
Krezk.
What?
R. It was like Gone to Krezk, Rillirn.
Yeah.
Well,
Ah,
that answers that question.
I wonder why we go there.
Well, I know where we're going. Put the girl down and let's go.
I can't leave her right now.
Of course you can.
Can you give us a day to rest?
The horse is ready. I'm going now. Tell you what. Give me something of yours. I'll let them know.
No, I'll come.
You feel her hand tighten there on you. Not enough to be scolding, but enough that you get recognition that she heard you.
Can I take her up to her room?
Yeah. And Rickton kind of turns around, taking the piece of paper, he goes and tosses it. He nods up to Danica as she brings him a drink. You carry Lenore up the stairs, and as soon as you get up there to the balusters, you hear her dry breath whispering, "Please don't go. Please don't tell me. Please don't."
She lost it all.
I gave her a warning. Not to put her arm in there. Ooh. Not the point.
You take her into that room. What room do you take her
I'll just take her into the one Rillirn messed up.
You bring her in there to.
I'm gonna be using it right now.
No, not that you know. You bring her in there to that one bed that was still made. You set her down on top of it. As you lay her down, you see her eyes for the first time since the accident. She meets you. You can tell she's terrified.
It's my friend. I need to see him. I don't know how he's doing or where he's at or what he's up to. He could be dead for all I know.
She doesn't really seem to acknowledge that, but you get her breath coming faster. She just kind of shakes her head. As her eyes drift from you, looking through you. You can tell she's traumatized by what happened. She no longer seeing you, she's looking through you, but her lips just whisper to herself, Don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me, please.
I'm just gonna go down there with Tavio. Is he still there? Or do you go notice?
No, he's sitting down there at a bar. You actually hear him laughing downstairs.
I'm just gonna walk down real quick.
Yeah, as you step out, you hear him, let me see, kind of, just with a knife and fork.
Tavio.
He turns to you, mouth full of food.
Sorry, but you're on your own on this one. Say hi to Rillirn for me though, if he's still alive.
Yeah.
Bring my spell book.
Oh, yes.
No, that was 2 minutes. Don't act like
Yeah.
do that.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
You, he snaps for a second. Oh, he goes and takes up another swing.
Dang.
On a sinew. Why go to Krezk? I get into Krezk, easy enough. But then,
Oh, is it?
I find your sister, and she says no to coming with me. I talked to Rillirn. Wizards.
I'm killing him. He's not cool.
To dinner.
First, how are you gonna find my sister?
She's in. Well, maybe the wizard knows.
I doubt that. Yeah, wizards.
I'm killing you.
Tell you what, I have other business to attend for a couple days here. I would like you to do me this favor. You just cut more meat with a knife. You're going to dinner? Light a lantern, stick it in that window.
Like the day before, or
Well, preferably when you leave.
okay.
Fair enough. You'll see me there. Or will you? He goes and takes another bite. Delicious, ma'am. Thank you. I'll be back. Is that first room still mine? Danica kind of looks. I'll go make the bed. Goes, thank you. He heads back out towards the stables, leaving his dishes where they are. He picks one up. Soon. He goes and swings that door closed behind him. And with that,
Dude,
this
whoa.
guy, we will now go back to Anna.
That's called abuse, man.
Yeah. Well, I figured that was given.
No. Mine was.
Anna,
You
you
know, so everything.
proceed towards the abbey. Fog rolls through the air. You come up to that front door. The wind blowing whips the tendrils of your hair still wet. But you don't shiver. It's frozen cold. You get the sense that some of it is hardened, turning to ice. You come up to that front door there. Light is lit within. You suspect similar to all the other houses lit by candles. And that door is solid pine, stained dark. What do you do?
I'm pondering, since I don't know who put me in that and I'm in town, these people could have easily been the ones that put me in there.
In the tomb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know, right?
Sure.
Would I?
You have a suspicion that it was Strahd that put you in there to protect you.
Oh. Okay, that's fine.
You don't know what sort of ritual that was,
Okay.
but in pouring out his blood, you know that he was greatly weakened, at least by the state of him, that you saw.
Okay. That I remember.
That
That was
you
the last
remember.
thing.
The last thing that you remember of him.
Okay. And then I knock. I'm gonna knock on the door.
Okay. You go and you knock on that door. It's this heavy thud. Just there's no real sound. Not for a moment. The breeze, the wind stirring your hair, and just. You think maybe no one heard you. When you might go to knock again, you hear the. As the door unlatches and rests open.
I walk in.
You know, when you pull that door open, as you do, you're actually greeted by a strange, misfigured face. She looks maybe to be a woman. She's far shorter. She looks up at you, her eyes kind of twisted in surprise, and her mouth with pincers. That which looked like a great spider.
These are spider people. We're killing all of them.
Yeah.
You see her there, her fingers elongated as they kind of sticky to the door. Long, thick, black hairs kind of protrude as whiskers from them.
I take a step back.
She also takes a step back.
I'm just gonna stare at her for a second. Or him. Or
You hear footsteps come around the corner. And, sorry to cut you short,
that's okay.
but we're sipping back over to him.
Wow.
Well, we always
Can you
get
have some
time.
water?
It's not even your turn.
If I see one of these spiders,
Exactly.
it's
So
like
go get some
instantly
water.
attacking them.
My kidneys hurt. Go get some water.
No, don't even.
I'm in pain.
Step
Okay,
back.
Over it.
Rillirn.
Get up. I
You
don't know if
need
that's
to
all right.
run.
You.
Yeah.
Laying there in the snow, your eyes foggy as they drift from that perfect face, and they close. When your vision comes back to you, you're somewhere inside staring up at a dark ceiling illuminated by candles. You see them flickering across the stucco. You hear the movement of someone around you. And you see that face again. He almost appears to be glowing in the candlelight. His hair bleached blonde. His eyebrows, same. And his eyes, the lightest shade of blue. Everything about him is as pale as moonlight, and yet has the warmth of a noonday sun. As he looks down at you and smiles. He goes and raises his hands, closes your eyes. The next time you see anything, you're again staring at a wall. You hear something behind you and you turn your movement. You see another wall, but the light's coming from beneath you. You're there floating up on the ceiling. Like a spider, you find yourself pressed up into the corner, watching down on the scene. You see yourself laid out on a table. Your hands and feet strapped. Your clothes have all been torn off of you, cut. And you see the damage that was really done the night before. Or perhaps now, has it only been a night? You see the faintest light from outside shining through, but it looks as if dusk is coming. Your eyes go back to your body and you see that hole torn straight through your cheek, your teeth raw and ruddy, shine through them in the candlelight, wet. You see a tear in your neck, and you hadn't noticed, but the blood had actually run down your chest. The man, you see him from behind in his white robes. He uses a sponge to wash the blood off your chest. He goes and points again, moving aside. You see him finger at another hole that was torn there. An exposed rib is showing through. Turns away, goes back to find some tools. You see him then dip into a small container and pull out something wet. He shakes it, and the whole thing seems to shimmer in the light. As you lean in, looking closer, you recognize them to be fish scales. As he presses it up against your body there, he smiles as he turns about and goes to look for another instrument. He finds himself with some scissors. He goes to cut. And then moments later, as he begins to sew, as he looks down at it, he puts a hand over it. You see, something isn't right. The way he shakes his head. Stands above you, opens your eyes again. He puts his hands on your head, raising his face to the heavens. You see him begin to mutter something of a prayer. You note the light as it shines and shimmers in his eyes, and then the faintest sparking around his fingers. As he goes and pulls his hands away. Dead.
Am I able to do anything?
Oh yeah, you can move.
My
What do you want to
spirit
do?
body.
Yeah, what do you do?
Am I able to?
Just kidding.
So if I can I like touch like because I'm like backed up against the ceiling right
Yeah,
now.
you're
Can
kind
I
of
like actually
pushed
touch
against the
it
wall.
and like feel it?
It's a strange sort of feeling, one that you've only observed in that of magnets in the physical world. That as one comes close to the other, you have a sensation of touch, but you know there is a slight barrier between the two of you.
I'd like so I'd like to go down to my body
Okay.
and see and try my darndest to push the raise dead spell scroll out of my pocket.
Roll for, let's see, let's do charisma.
Okay, that's a solid score.
He sees it, grabs it, and throws it away.
No! You flick it out under the table. It goes out the window.
Oh, 13.
13? Okay. Yeah, as you kind of drift down, you go and press it, trying to interact with the physical world, and yet, the moment you think it seems futile, the darndest thing happens. As if maybe he bumped the table. You can't tell, but something stirs the piece of paper to roll forward. He hears a slight rustle as he turns back around. Oh, what?
This guy's fun. If he's smart, it's that.
He looks at it for maybe half a second before he just tosses it to the side, points at you, and just light strikes, emitting from his eyes, and just you feel breath come back into you. And at the same time, your spirit is separated. You stand above it and you recognize yourself now breathing. He goes back, finds his needle, and takes back the fish scales, begin to sew. You watch him for a while. seems to drift from day to night. And you drift again, your spirit collapsing into your body. And then again it emerges and you find yourself standing there at the foot of this bed. Not behind one figure, but two. Both of them with their backs to you as they seem to kind of whisper to each other. One there is hair, dark black, pointed ears just barely protrude from his hair. His voice slightly more nasally comes forth. Calls. Neat. You mustn't know. Neat. That's right.
Can I move and try to look at what they're doing?
You step around side. You hear the tinking of glass. But just then, you see the Abbott. Sorry, the man.
I wonder who it is.
Gold hair. He goes and presses your flesh together, putting a stitch in, and then laying forth the fish scales once more. He goes and turns back to the man, who gives him a nod of approval. You recognize this man immediately. It's Rahadin,
Yes.
the Chamberlain of Strahd. As he stands there, his face smug, he turns, his nose upturned. He goes back towards the door and lets himself out. The man turns and goes back to stitching, humming along happily. Yes. He goes into your arms and legs, and you see him grabbing different things, pelts now. He goes and rustles at your leg hair, and then rustles at the fur. It looks to be maybe badger, as he goes and stitches in some badger pelt, wet with a liquid,
Oh, nice, dude.
into your calf, where a chunk of it is missing. He goes and lays a hand over it. Looks down to you, just smiling. He looks at you, the way he just smiles at your face. It's that a love of a creator, of a father, of an artist. He stands back and sets his tools down neatly. And with that, we're going to go back
To the knock on the door.
to Anna.
It's Emily. It's actually Tatiana, but
Fascinating to hear about that.
You see that woman. She steps a little bit further back towards the corridor, and you hear the scuffing of feet as they move forward. A head pokes around the corner. Fur protrudes from his jowls in thick tufts, brown. His nose has been carved away, and in its place is that of a snout of maybe a bear or some sort of large animal.
As this is happening, can I pretend to start shivering?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Roll for performance.
Oh man, if I could just do that.
you gotta sell it.
Oh.
That is that a 2?
Yeah, 4.
4.
Ooh. Yeah, you do not sell.
I can still say it.
She's like,
Why are you so twitchy?
I'm just cold.
Cold.
Can I find shelter here? Can I come in?
Course, come in. Come in.
I walk right in.
And shut the door now. Shut the door. He goes back to the door. You see as he hobbles around, you see he has a rather large hump on his back, hunched over. As he moves forward, his fingernails long, protruding. So they go and they press up against that door and close it. He turns back to you, a tooth coming forth from his mouth. What's your name?
Annalie,
Nice to meet you, Annalie.
yours?
I'm Borges.
Focus. Who is the master of this house?
That would be the Morning Lord, miss.
I see. Who do you take orders from?
Well, that would be the Abbott.
May I see the abbot?
Of course, miss, I see why not.
Thank you.
Of course.
As well as, what town is this? May I ask?
What town is it? Why, you're in Krezk, miss. Krezk?
It's my first time here, and I wasn't aware.
How is it you come to Krezk, then? He goes and begins to kind of shuffle forward. This way, this way.
Thank you.
In Krezk you came how, sir?
My memory seems a little foggy.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's no worries. No worries. You're here now. That's all that matters. Is you're here.
How
It's
did
good.
you end up here?
Oh, well. Funny thing, I never really thought about it much. Huh. Let's say it's foggy then. He goes and continues walking forward. Just this way. I'll show you to our chapel room. You can wait in there where it's warm. This way, yes. He goes and proceeds to open the door. In here. He lets you enter first if you do. Inside you see rows of stone benches lined out before a large altar. And far beyond it, there is a beautiful stained glass window emanating what almost looks like sunlight. Though through the blue and clear glasses, you can tell that it's still quite pale outside. You just wait in here. The fire's in the back. You might just cuddle round the stove then. It's quite warm. Don't mind the others if they seem to bother you. They'll make room.
Thank you.
Of course, miss. I'll be right back with the abbot then. Yes. He goes and comes out of that door, swings it closed. You look towards the back of the room, and you see several more mutts of people. All of them disfigured. Some of them perfectly fine faces, and their ears are replaced by that of a fox. Some of them with some of them
I'm associated with them.
that almost seem to have scales embedded in their skin. Some of them with strange teeth, others with horns implanted in their skulls. You see a few of them as they look back to you. One of them looks to be that of a deer. Hello.
Hello?
Would you care for some warm?
Can I feel my hair? Is it still wet?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Then I'll walk forward.
Come on in, we don't bite. He goes and kind of shuffles over to the side. His eyes kind of larger than you are comfortable with, at least in how wide they're open. Just shuffle in. He goes and kind of just raises his hand. Another woman kind of sits there, shivering. She looks fairly normal. Perhaps her face is slightly pinched forward. But as she smiles, her teeth all of them protruding different directions,
Botox.
are that of maybe a wolf in the snout. She smiles at you all.
I'm so glad we didn't come here earlier.
She
So
raises her
ridiculous.
hands again. Moments later, you then hear a creak at the door. And inside steps a fairly tall man, slender but well built as he comes walking in, his robes very trim to him, as his sleeves are kind of longer and they sway as he moves his arms coming in. Hey guests, welcome. Welcome.
Hello,
What is your name?
Annalie.
Oh, Emily. It is very nice to meet you.
Your name?
I'm called the Abbott.
The Abbott.
Yes. You are in my abbey.
Yes, I will.
Far be it from me to say, I do not mean to be rude, but you are quite beautiful.
Thank you.
I have someone that, in fact, I think I want you to meet. Would you be so inclined as to humor me just this once?
Who is this person?
Come and see. They very much want to meet you. Please.
Do they know who I am?
Oh, yes. I think so. If not, they will learn.
What do you do here?
I help those who need help. I
Is
fetch
this
those
what
that
you
are
do?
lost and I bring them to the light.
Have you done this? To
Yes, do you like them? Adam here suffered from a tumor. As a boy, he couldn't walk. As a young man, he couldn't get out of bed. He could hardly breathe when I came to him. And now look at him, how he breathes. You see him kind of turn to you as he smiles up to you. His mouth kind of expanded larger. You see actually his whole bottom jaw has been replaced by that of a large cat, maybe a mountain lion. He smiles, it opens. His tongue kind of falls forth and yawns like that of a cat. Adam. You're not injured, are you?
I'm not.
Very good. Well, follow me, please. He goes and walks forward towards the door. Come on.
Okay. I fall forward. Behind him.
He leads you out of that room, opening the door and down the hall. He leads you then to another room, the door closed, but you can tell a light is on just beneath the doorstep. He goes and reaches for the door, turns to you. He smiles widely, his face very bright. He's handsome, but in a way that, of course, is unnatural. In a way that you look at a child who has just not been touched by age or blemish, and at the same time, the way his eyes look at you is that of someone who has seen many things. And he recognizes you very clearly when he opens the door.
Great.
With that, we'll go back to Amadeus.
Dude, you guys
It's
look
not
so
about
freaking
selling.
ugly, dude.
You had a tail, Sam.
No.
Tail time.
No. I'll just kill myself. Oh my god.
We go to Amadeus.
About to say
Does anyone need to take a break?
Mentally, maybe.
Mentally,
Yeah,
break? No?
yeah,
Or we
fine.
keep going?
Yeah,
Okay,
fine.
because it is 8 now. Okay. Amadeus.
Yeah.
I gotta get another mindset.
that.
Ah.
Did you need a bathroom break?
No, I'm good.
Actually, I do, so I'm gonna go. But it's not
Okay,
my
go
scene,
for it.
so.
You sit there with Lenore. You brought a chair into the room. And you see her there. She can't seem to look at you, or she doesn't. She just stares there at the floor. For hours and hours on end. It's been a few days. 4, maybe 5. You hear her voice, and suddenly it almost startles you as you've been sitting in silence for so long. I don't want to stay here.
Sorry.
I don't want to stay here anymore.
Where do you want to go?
You see her eyes as they look just over her shoulder, and you hear them outside the Brahm and Bray, they're playing. You hear the fluttering of wings. No, come back! Hey, Mom says we're not supposed to. And then you hear another. Boys, get down from there. What did I say about turning in the town? They flutter around a bit more before turning back, and you hear them then. Oh, Mom. She looks back to you, her eyes just filled with tears. Just...
He's so great. You don't have much other place to go right now. You need to continue to heal. I wish I could do anything to get your heart back if I could.
At the mention of it, her face goes sour, and she bites her lip, trying not to cry. What about the dowry?
Yes,
I could go look at this.
I will go take a look today. Thomas,
I want to stay here much longer.
of course.
In a few hours, you notice that she's passed off to sleep. It's right around midday. You have the dowry.
By the way, am I rested at all?
You have, yes. Yeah.
God, I'm gonna say I need 5 days.
Yeah, you did have 5 days of downtime. You can be at full everything.
That is awesome. Yes.
Yeah, very fair. What do you do?
I guess I'm gonna go look for a house.
You go down the stairs there. You see Danica as she's cleaning up lunch that she made for the boys. Oh, I'm sorry, did you want anything?
Oh, I'm fine today. Not really hungry.
Does she want anything?
She won't say it, but she needs it.
Okay, I'll bring something. Where are you off to?
Where would one go to look for a house?
Well, I assume you could proposition individual sellers, but I don't know of anyone that is selling at the moment. Since what happened at the church, you might go see the Baroness, Lady Voctor.
Ah, perfect. We were on good terms, so
That's good.
sure she'll give me some advice as where to go. So,
You don't have to, by the way.
I'll go. Might as well.
You will always be welcome here.
Of course, I appreciate that. You've done a lot for us. Actually, I know Erwin did a lot for us. And we always appreciate it.
You've done more than your fair share.
Never seems like enough.
Well, good luck then. You step out of the Blue Water Inn, head down through town towards. Do you go to Voctor House or do you go to the mansion?
1 second. Yes, please. Also, why are you texting me when I'm trying to do things?
Do you go to the? Where do you go?
I'm gonna go Lady Voctor.
Voctor House? Voctor House or the
Oh, sorry.
Baron's
Her new
mansion.
place.
Her new
Sorry,
place.
the Baron.
Gotcha. There's a difference.
You can take the old house.
You
Alright.
walk then through the streets. Town is more lively than ever. You actually do hear musicians off playing their instruments somewhere around a corner that you can't see, but you hear the ringing of the blacksmith. As you continue walking through town, you hear people moving back and forth, some children playing off in the distance, and then you see far off down the road the ringing of a bell and the rolling of a cart. It stops you for a moment. She's off somewhere past the orphanage. Do you proceed that way or do you turn right into
No.
the stockyard?
I'm gonna go that way.
Yeah, towards the main square.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You turn away from her. And there, going to the main square, there's actually no stage anymore. Where people were held in stockades, it's all been torn down, and there's in fact a new fountain standing in the middle of the square. That of a woman with her hands outstretched.
Oh my god. Not for one
course.
Her head isn't in place yet, but you can tell that it's all being constructed. There's no water flowing from the fountain. But in a surprising likeness, at least in gesture, you walk past it towards
money
the
in the
mansion.
fountain?
You look down, and as there's no water, no one has tossed in any coins.
Nice try.
In due time.
You're sitting there with a fat pouch of money. Any pennies?
I was gonna say, actually, how much gold was in the dowry?
We're gonna find out.
Ooh.
You continue forward towards the Baron's mansion. As you get up to those front steps, you see someone swing open the door. May I help you?
I need to see Lady Voctor.
Lady Voctor, do you have an appointment?
I don't, but I'm a friend.
I will let the Baroness know.
Thank you very much.
He goes and closes the door behind him, and you hear his feet.
You didn't take your name. I don't know who it is.
It's fine.
Moments later, he comes back to the door. She will see you now.
Perfect.
He steps aside and lets you. You see her then coming down the hall. Amadeus, it's so good to see you.
How are you doing?
Come in, come in. How am I doing? I'm doing quite well.
That's
How are
good.
you doing? Where is your sister? She's lovely. Where is she?
Off doing knows
I
what.
love her. She's my BFF.
Oh my.
Well, girls will be girls. Come. Tea? Biscuits?
No, thank you.
Are you sure? Barovian spice?
Alright.
Ernst,
You
please
sold
bring
me.
some Barovian spice.
She didn't say it.
Very well, thank
She
you.
said it kind of tea.
Where shall we sit? Shall we sit outside, or shall we sit in? Oh, ooh, I have a new library.
Ah, let's go there.
Of course. Now follow me. Do you like what I've done with the place? She begins walking through, and you see there's
Looks
all
awesome.
sorts of ivy growing inside the house. Tendrils of it up and down. Several built-in bookshelves, now been encased with several layers of books all throughout the house and this floor.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you, thank you. She goes and walks over to a plant. In its pot, she pushes it over slightly. This way. And she continues in to the library. Take a seat, take a seat. Ernst, we're in here. One moment. She crosses her legs. And just sits there. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, I'm actually looking to buy a house and was wondering if you could point me in the
You
right direction.
are. Oh, congratulations for the missus.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, I do suppose we do have quite a few houses on sale since, well, the dispossessed and the dying, well, they leave the houses then to the city and I get to sell them. Where are you looking to buy?
Where? I haven't even thought of that.
Side of town, east, west, north, south.
Which one's closest to the winery?
That would be the
West.
west. Thank you. I should just.
Just three places. West.
West, certainly. Over by the church and. Well, there's plenty more houses over there.
We'll look around.
Of course. Let me see.
Do I know that Rillirn's spellbook hasn't been given back, or is that not my...
I did bring it up last time the two of us went, so
I
you
know.
might know it. But I don't. I mean, you can always ask. You
I
do
guess.
know about it, so.
Also, did you perhaps give Rillirn's spellbook back at all?
You know, I wouldn't know, darling. It wasn't me who was using it. I had one of my men transcribing it. Perhaps he came by and picked it up.
Okay.
I did find the addresses just here. She had a very large stack of books and papers all laid about, and she was able to pull one out and lay it. For
Actually, did I know if she was lying about that?
yeah, roll for insight.
No. Thank you.
It's gonna be a 14.
Yeah, she was a little weaselly the way she was talking about it. She was definitely hiding something. She goes and flicks through the pages here. Oh, this one's lovely. Let us see. Should I have Ernst show you around?
Yes, of course.
Ernst!
My favorite guy.
Coming, miss. You see him coming in with two platters, one with tea and the cups on it, and one with the biscuits. Here you are, miss. Right here. He sets them down for you. Sugar. He goes and pours.
Yes, please.
Of course. Pops it in. Bloop. He begins to stir it for you. You take it from him as he goes to stir it?
Yes.
Well.
This one I found,
Ernst, I would like you to show him around for the rest of today. Make sure he finds a good house and we'll give him a good deal. Of course, miss, of course. Right this way.
I'm just gonna down the tea.
Is that everything?
That is everything. Yes, for now.
Certainly. Well, do tell your sister to come my way whenever she's back from her travels, adventuring, and all that.
I'll let her know.
What?
All right. She just smiles at you coyly and lets you proceed to walk out after Ernst. Did you say something?
I didn't know if you wanted that one.
Oh, okay.
Also, give me some water.
No.
You continue then out into the street. Ernst then proceeds to show you about the town. You see several houses in all sorts here. Actually, let me see. I don't have the maps out. So here, so strong.
We're so.
Okay, here is the western gate. Here is the eastern gate. Over here, northern gate. There is no real southern gate. The majority of town is down here. You have the church over in this area, and you have the Blue Water Inn, Wachter House is over here, and you have the mansion on this side of town. There is the Airsex Stockyard and the orphanage over here. This is the main central road. There are several roads that sort of dip down like this, including this one, which shows down to the main square area. The majority of houses that are for sale are somewhere over along this main road. However, there is another road that kind of drifts back here, and there are a few for sale back in this area.
Sorry, I forgot. You said this is the winery?
The winery? Oh, the
Winery.
Blue Water Inn?
Blue Water Winery.
Yeah.
I just called it.
Blue Water Win? Blue
Blue
Water
Water
now. It's right there, that one.
I guess we can start over here.
Okay. Yeah, he shows you about, you see a very large house with its roof caved in on one side. There's scorch marks on it. He goes, this one should be near 20,000 gold.
20,000 gold for that.
I can see if they come down, it'll,
Let's just move on to another house. I already don't want this one.
cost. He proceeds to lead you down the street a little bit more. This one here is only 12. And as you look at it, you see it is mortar, stucco, with large river rocks kind of piled into it. The stucco has begun to sort of chip away, but it has a nice foundation. Inside, you do open that door and you see the floor is a bit strange in that you can see through it in several spots. And there's an updraft that comes through it. It's much smaller than the previous house, but there is an upstairs, a small loft, and a rather large furnace at one end. 12,000 this one is. It's lovely curtains.
Yeah.
Let's maybe look at the other ones as well.
Of course. Sorry, so let's say that was the first one, that's the second one.
Okay.
As you kind of back up this direction. This one here is said to have been owned by Madame one sec. Torelli.
Yeah.
Lee Torelli was said to be a witch, so the house is on discount. It is near 15,000 golds for it. 15,000. Come on, I'll show you in. You see there's a rather large kind of front porch on it. As you step inside, there are several points where you can see daylight coming in through the thatched roof. But as you look around, it seems to have pretty decent bones. Paint peeling, of course, but the rest of it, pretty decent affair. There's a kitchen off to one side as you step in, and then on the other, a rather large dining table that's laid out. Next to it is a furnace, and then there is a small staircase that winds up stairs where there is sort of a half loft. There are several things of ivy that have been growing, and strung up herbs that are dried up top.
Can I ask why there's a discount since a witch lived here? Did she do something here? Or
Well, it was said that she perhaps murdered several children last year, and well, they've buried them. The bones, at least, that they found was beneath the floors.
Yeah, let's move on to the next house. Buy it, it's on a discount.
Yeah.
Very well. He goes and steps out, leading you closer to the road.
Conjuring 3, you idiot.
Shut up.
You pass up the street slightly and then find on the other side. This one, there is a significant amount of damage to a window that has kind of been blasted in. It looks like something flew through it and tore open the different leaded glass that was there that would definitely need to be replaced. There are scorch marks kind of surround it. As you walk closer, it's been boarded up on the inside, but it's a very pretty little house. Stone bricks, all laid in, the mortar freshly done. Someone cared definitely about this house when they lived there. You see the shingled roof, all of them nice and neat, kept in order, painted a dark green, and there's kind of a lighter trim on the house where there's stucco and large planks of wood that are inset in that stucco, a Tudor style house. You walk up to the front door, which has a leaded glass pane set within it. As Ernst goes, fiddles with the keys, and then opens it up. He swings the door open, and this is this one. It's well, it's what it is, really. This one I have here is 17,000. Yeah, kitchen's that way. 2 bedrooms there, and then there is also upstairs. There's a single room up there. Looks like it is supposed to be perhaps a study. There is a small larder underground here. He goes and opens up kind of these hatches. This hatch in the floor. Yeah, that's the larder, all right.
What?
The larder.
Oh. Right.
What?
Right.
No, there's stairs. It's a larder. It's where you keep the food.
Right.
you know?
Understood.
Oh.
Lucky you, looks like there's some left.
What do you mean by that?
Well, normally houses are ransacked, but well, this one I suppose it wasn't.
Is the food still good?
Yeah, some of it probably, some probably not. He goes and kind of turns back to you. He sets the lantern down on a table, and there it casts kind of strange shadows across the floor where you see there's a very large dark stain in the floorboards.
Ernst, what is that?
Well, all these houses went up for sale at a certain time. You expect to see certain things like this in these houses, no?
I understand that. Are we able to get that out?
Yeah, you take a hatchet or saw, perhaps. Just replace the floorboards, isn't much a problem, really.
Okay, this was house number 4, right?
Yeah.
Keep an eye on this one. Let's go to the next one.
Right then. He leads you closer to the road. This one is 30,000. It's got 3 levels, see. You see, quite nice then, but there's the hole in the roof, of course, and the doors are off their knockers, really. They've all been boarded up. Can't go inside this one unless you want to peek in through a window.
Why can't we go inside?
Oh, the smell. It's real bad. You smell hair when it burns. Lots of hair on these ones.
Well, we can just cover our mouths while we go in.
Yeah, you can. Show yourself around.
Alright, give me the keys.
You go up to it and unlock that door. Immediately, you're hit with that smell of singed flesh and hair. You see several scorch marks of what look to be people in huddled positions where they're whited out on the walls, imprints of a family that have perhaps been burned. You see them scorched into the wall.
Ernst, let's go to the next one. Also, you know, I don't mean to be a salesman here, but you should probably clean these houses before you sell them.
Right, well, he goes to show you a few more houses, each of them, some of them far out of your budget, 50,000, 45,000. You see another house, he shows you around it. Yeah, this one here is all out of stone, couldn't burn this one down. He goes and kind of opens the front door there. Roof's got a little bit of a leak problem, obviously. Can't make the roof out of stone, can you?
No, you cannot.
No. He walks forward and shows you into that room. It has sort of a vestibule that you'd walk into where you take off your feet. You take off your shoes, and you hang your jackets, and then you'd walk into the main area, which is a living room. At the far end of that room, there is a large stove, single stove there, where the kitchen is sort of laid out and around it. There is a secondary stove. It's a little bit smaller off to the side, and then there it's spiral staircases upstairs.
Spiral staircases.
This one here is just about 19,000.
Do I know how much room in my dowry, or do we get away from
Well, we could count it then, can't we?
that? Just asking out of character.
Oh, yeah, it's an in character. You lay out the money on the table. You have somewhere around 13,000.
House number 2,
Yeah.
discount.
Yeah.
How much was this one?
This one is 18. Perhaps
You
you
know,
talk to Lady Walker about it.
if you could bring it down to 13, that'd be awesome.
That is quite the ask.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I'm a close friend, so
Close.
I'll talk to her.
indeed.
How much was the house for number 4?
That one was 15,000.
Okay, worst case, what if we bring that one down to 13?
Oh, I could see about it then.
Okay.
But she likes you more than she likes me.
That's. I'll talk to her.
I feel so bad for this guy.
This
Yeah,
is
no,
my
it's like,
number one favorite character in this whole campaign.
And with that,
Oh,
we will go back to Rillirn.
Dude, I'm on an HGTV TV show.
And now we go back to Rillirn. Body laid out across the
I'm gonna see
table.
what kind of furry I am.
You take a Facebook test.
No, just a BuzzFeed quiz, it's fine.
Oh, we're gonna switch this music to this music.
Too good. Too good.
You are staring at the black when you hear the voice come forth. Wake up! Wake up!
Oh, my boy, okay.
My milk. It's like,
Hey! Open them!
I'd like to just keep my eyes closed for right now.
Petty.
You hear this kind of, it boils up into your throat, and you feel the growling coming forward, like you can't control it. You're now growling there.
What do you want?
Open your damn eyes, slave.
No.
Is someone awake? You hear the other voice, very calm, sing song.
God.
Hello, are you awake? Come now, open them. Let me see. Oh, look at you. Wow. Such pretty eyes you have. Come, let me take these off. And what is your name? There you are. What was it?
Did I already tell you?
Well, I've met him, but not you.
Him.
Vladimir, of course.
Met Vladimir.
Why, yes, he told me about you some.
That's just great. I'm Rillirn.
It's nice to meet you, Rillirn.
Nice to meet you as well. What is your name?
I am the Abbott.
The Abbott. Am I in Krezk?
You are in Krezk. Come, try your feet. Come on,
Is there
you can.
something wrong with
He goes and kind of picks up your hands. Come now, try them out.
I can walk on my own.
As you go and you look down at your legs, you see them mismatched patches of fur and what looks like fish scales sewed into them.
Why?
You were missing some parts, so I fixed you up. Come on. He goes and lifts up your feet and swings them out to the side. There you are.
Is it any different than normally walking?
Why would it be? Come now, please try. He takes your hands and sort of pulls you forward, holding you up like one would a toddler. Very good! Very good!
Yeah.
Look at you! Take a few steps. Go on.
What's happening?
This is exactly what it is.
You look down at your feet and you see them sort of splayed, wider than you would have liked. Your toes, you realize, are missing. And in their place, they're nearly webbed. You're not sure what sort of creature this came from, some sort of fish perhaps? But they're large bony structures resembling your toes, grafted on like one might graft a tree. Your feet webbed.
Is it any harder to actually walk then?
Yeah, go ahead and roll for
Yeah,
dexterity.
you can swim faster.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
dude.
It's a one.
A one. With a one, you fall into the ground. Oh, it's all right. He goes and catches you and lifts you up. You'll get used to them. Your toes fell off. They were so black and cold. He goes,
What happened?
Do you not remember? You fell from that tree,
I do remember
and I
that.
found you and fixed you.
That was you.
Yes, it was me. Who else would it be?
I honestly had no idea. I
Come
was not
now.
sure.
You must see. Look in this mirror. See?
I
You
don't know.
are wonderful. Take a look. See? As he shows you, you see your face for the most part unchanged.
Thank God.
But grafted then somewhere up at your temple and splayed in down to your mouth. Your lips sort of shriveled slightly on one side, where it's sewn in fish scales to your face as they shimmer in the light. See how it plays with them? Is it not beautiful?
That is very interesting, to be sure.
He goes and takes your cheek. He pushes up on your chin. You see, I had to make a few different arrangements here. He goes and presses it up and shows you with the mirror. He touches the gills that he grafted there into one side of your neck.
Is it just one side?
Just one side.
Yeah.
See, you had a hole there, split open. The life of you spilled out. But now, is it not wonderful?
What? I'm just a loss for words.
You're gorgeous. You hear another voice say from deep inside, from your throat. It spits out of your mouth. He goes, "Oh, you think so, Vladimir? Yeah. Can we get moving, please?"
I mean, you've agreed to these changes.
Agreed. I woke up same as you. Stupid corpse.
Find a new one then.
Oh, you wish to find a new corpse, then? This one is living. Living once again. He goes, "No, we're fine. Take me to that book you said." Book? Oh, the book about Olia that I wrote quite some years ago.
A book?
I certainly... Why, yes, of course. While you were sleeping, we talked about Tatiana, son.
Oh, you did?
We did.
What about?
Oh, well, I don't quite remember her so, but I did take accounts from long ago. Actually, it was a bard, I do believe. He wrote some down. Tatiana is the name of Strahd's beloved from long ago. He lost her and since has ever been seeking to find her. Quite a story. But whence I came to Barovia, she was not known as Tatiana, but as Olia.
When you came to Barovia,
Why, yes.
You're not from here.
No, of course not.
Where are you from?
Oh. I am from, well, let us say the sky.
The sky?
Why, yes.
Like a different plane of existence?
You speak in such funny words. But perhaps you mean the truth. Do not focus about me. We were talking about Olia. Vladimir, you wish to see the book on Olia, but from your description before you went to sleep again, I had another thought. Perhaps I show you something else.
What else do you have to show us?
Well, I could describe it, but it would be better if you saw. Come with me, please. Try again.
Do you want me to roll
Oh my
them?
god, he's taking his first steps.
So what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank God.
Go ahead.
Okay. Are you serious?
What'd you get?
One.
Oh,
Whoa.
you poor thing. Here, let me fetch for you a walking stick. Sit down. It will take a moment to be used to
I
it.
had a staff.
You had a staff.
I believe I did.
Did you?
If I didn't have it, I must have misplaced it somewhere.
Oh, perhaps Borges is holding on to it for you.
Who is Borges?
Borges is my friend. He lives here at the Abbey.
Oh.
I will see about it. For now, take this.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Yes. Follow me.
Of course.
You will love it. She is beautiful.
I thought I was working.
He takes you forward, opens up the door, and leads you down a hall to another room. Down this long hall, you see a light on in that room. He goes and opens it up, smiling back at you. Come, see. I only wish she were Olia. As he looks down, you see a bright lantern light shining across a table where a woman is laid out as you were, without restraint. Vasilka! Vasilka, it is time to wake up. I have a friend for you. The girl, she sits forward. She wears a wedding gown with a veil over her face so that you can't see through it. Is she not lovely?
Yes, indeed. And who is this supposed to be Tatiana then? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, you do me such great honor that you... She is supposed to be something of the sort. Like Olia. Something of the sort.
Some kind of like reincarnation then?
Well, not quite. You see, the reincarnations, they always die before Strahd can ever have them. So I thought to myself, how to make one better? Make one that was already dead. You must see. Vasilka, do be polite. Show our guest your manners. You see, the corpse girl stitched together. She swings her legs to the side, stands up, comes to you, and curtsies. Very good, Vasilka. Now please, take a seat. We've been practicing how we take tea. Go on. Take a sip. She goes, pours some tea, puts a sugar cube in it, stirs it, sets it down, raises it up. Vasilka, no, you must take off the veil first. As he removes the veil, you see she is a girl without a face. The muscle beneath it strung together, her eyes sit globes, all of it raw, ruddy, but for the most part blotted clean. He smiles. She is not yet finished. I've but found the perfect face. Vasilka,
You have.
take a sip. Very good, Vasilka. Do you like her?
Yes, indeed. I don't really know her though either.
Kinda needs a face.
Also true.
Well, she isn't quite done. Perhaps you would help me find one.
If I could be so helpful, I guess I can. I do have to get back to my friends though, if I can though.
Where's that book? Oh, of course. Sure, let me fetch it for you. I'll be right back. He goes and leaves the room, leaving you with Vasilka.
Does she have an actual mouth then?
She does, yeah. Her teeth, you see the skull, you see the muscles spread across the skull. He's very meticulously stitched it all together and made it very neat, but she is still missing.
Does she have
her face.
ears?
She does not.
What did he talk with you about, Vladimir?
You hear kind of this rumbling in your chest, and it kind of, well, since however long ago that was, we talked about keeping this corpse and making it a little bit more useful.
Oh yes?
Yeah, I didn't think he'd sew webbers onto my feet though.
Our feet.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Well,
What's so useful about this body?
well, it wasn't quite so useful when it was falling apart then, was it?
Whose fault was that?
Well, had I known you had what you had in you then, Perhaps I'll let you drive a bit more.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know what that was. You're some sort of wizard that doesn't seem to do much spells. But then, that night, there's power there. I could taste it. Perhaps this living corpse will do more for me than a dead one. Came in handy in a pinch, no? Come. Abbott will show us that book. Perhaps there's a picture of what Olia might look like, or at least a description. We'll be all the closer to finding that Tatiana.
Yes, indeed.
What are you looking at, you ugly broad? You see the girl's face kind of look at you, kind of turn back and stare down at the tea. And with that, we're gonna go all the way back to Anna.
All the way back. She seems pretty close.
Yeah. Fair.
All the way back.
To the door.
Yes.
Anna led down that hallway by the Abbott. He smiles at you several times, very excited. As he leads you forward.
Can I like sense like, okay, I should not trust this guy?
You do have a certain sense of unease, certainly,
Okay.
but he's at the doors. He opens it wide, and inside, you see there sitting at the table. Strahd, no, just kidding.
Another date.
Vasilka. She stands there. Her face in a perpetual smile as her veil is up. She goes, "Come on in. She would love to meet you." What's wrong?
No. I will not go into that room.
I'm sorry if I did not mean to offend. I'm sorry. I only wanted you to meet. She very much would like to be, well, she very much,
She what? What is she?
she would very much like to be a pretty girl.
What did you do?
What did I do? I've made her. Before she was but food for worms and rot.
He was dead.
Why, yes.
I will not meet her.
I'm sorry to say. Perhaps you would like a nice warm bath to clean yourself and dry yourself. I can
No.
have you meet her another time.
No, thank you. I will see myself out.
I don't understand. I just wanted you to meet Vasilka. Vasilka is very lonely here. She hasn't met many other people, and she would
No.
very much like to meet you.
That seems to be your problem, not mine. You created her. And you have to deal with the consequences.
Very well.
I shall see myself out.
He stares at you for some time, not able to really comprehend the amount of awkwardness there is in that interaction, but you do see the sadness in his face. I'm so sorry, Vasilka. He eventually turns from you. He closes the door.
Do I know if the front door is behind me or in front of me?
That's behind you. This is at the far end of a hallway.
I'm gonna walk slowly backwards, but I'm keeping my eyes on him.
Okay. He stands there just at the end of the hallway, visage of white and this cold, dark gray stone. You continue hurriedly down that hall, coming past the chapel. As you walk backwards, you stumble into that woman there. She watches you as you kind of turn towards the door, and there, by that front door, sitting in a window, staring out into the snowdrift outside, is Rillirn.
Turn around.
What do you do?
Does he see me?
Go and pull on his tail.
He
I
does.
don't have a tail. Stop it. I don't
Rillirn.
have a tail, right?
No.
Thank
And
God.
I haven't seen his
You-
face yet. Oh wait,
in this daytime, you do comprehend that.
Okay.
I don't see his face.
You do see it. Yeah, you recognize him.
But do I see his face?
Oh no, you don't see that side of
That's
his
what I
face.
mean.
That is on his
Yeah.
his right.
I was like, wait.
Excellent question.
Yeah.
What did I
I
say?
was
Is that
like,
on your right side of your face?
Yes, right
Okay.
side.
Okay, yeah. We'll say that. Okay, you're
I'm
turning
gonna-
out the window.
Race up to him. Rillirn! Rillirn!
Hello, Anna.
Does he then turn all the way? Or you?
I
coming?
do. I turn all the way. Hello.
What happened? Your face.
Thank
your,
you.
Your neck.
Yes. Like the improvements, as they've been called.
How are you here?
It was a long night. I know not how many days have passed, but the night that we split, you went off with the Vistani, and I kept on going to Krezk. I found Morton here.
You did.
Yes.
You found him. Okay. Also,
Yes.
not to cut off your story, but I think we need to get out of here. I have an unease about this place.
Yes, I'd rather not talk about it anyways. Yes, we definitely need to get out. I assume we could really just walk out.
So let's go.
Sure. I can't do much. I still do not have my spell book, but I will aid in any way I can.
That you hear a heavy from that front door. It swings open with a great gust of wind as it comes blowing in, and then dies off again as it slams behind you. You see there, Borgus.
Bad storm outside, real bad. Best stay out of the cold.
He shakes himself off and snow kind of falls off of him.
You will not keep me from leaving. Do you think you can handle it? Handle the weather?
So, I have a question real quick.
Logan.
Point me?
Me? What?
Not, yeah.
So,
Okay, ask that.
So I know I don't have my spell book. So this is
Correct.
an odd ask. But given circumstances that have happened recently, would I be able to potentially even roll to cast perpetual motion?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, that's fair.
Not right now.
No, that's fine.
No.
Okay, I wanted to at least give it an ask. Also, actually, how much health am I at?
You are at
full, or-
full health, yeah.
Nice. I'm just gonna do
You still got your shoes on. You planning to leave? Oh, well, very well. The storm should pass soon.
How soon are you thinking?
Before nightfall, I'd say.
Before nightfall?
Certainly, yes. I saw patches of sky and through the haze. Yeah.
Are there any coats that we would be able to wear?
Well, I could see about borrowing some coats.
Alright. What would you like to see if we could just leave now?
I believe that we could, yes, but I don't believe that we would be able to survive out there. It's a long way before we're out of the mountainous area of Krezk.
You hear this of that woman with the face and pincers like a spider. She comes forward. She offers you a tea kettle and a pair of cups. Hammered copper cups. She reaches them forward.
Rillirn?
Please, I'll take a cup, thank you.
She lets you hold it and pours some for you.
Thank you. I
Well,
don't know what to do then. I do not want to stay here, but going out there could be suicide.
we could just wait right here.
We could. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
So I'm guessing the Abbott did this to you?
Yes. Yes, it was him who did this to me. A little help from Vladimir giving him some ideas, it would seem.
And how is Vladimir?
Oh, as good as ever. I don't know.
I'm sorry this happened to you, Rillirn.
That's what I get for dying, I guess.
Is that what happened?
Well, I would assume so. I was pushed way beyond my limit. Further than I thought I could go. Which, if anything, is also a testament to my abilities, but
I want to hear everything. Since now we have to wait it out. We can sit right here. I don't want to go back there.
yes, fair enough, yes. I'll just tell you, I'll just say that.
Yeah,
I tell you
exactly.
everything about
Yeah,
Morning Canaan and Time Stop
Exactly.
and all of that.
Yeah.
And the last thing you may or may not tell her. You were waiting in that room. The abbot came back with a book. He began reading to you a description of Tatiana.
Does it
Her auburn hair, as lovely as the autumn leaves, and her eyes green as the grass in spring. He continued with the description of what she looked like, but you felt some sort of change come over you. And you realize that dawn had come. And like a whisper or a song cut short, snatched, Vladimir was gone. And you were left alone listening to the abbot continue to read. Olia, she was a lovely girl, until that fateful day where she was torn up by dogs. I very much wish to have been there. I would have pieced her back together, that much more beautiful.
But he heard the description of her.
Oh, my hair. That's it.
Hair and eyes, yeah.
Okay.
And I really should have brought that up sooner. I cannot believe that I forgot it. He knows what your hair and eyes look like, and knows if that is enough just based off of that. So
Have I seen many people that have red hair and green eyes?
is that with what the Borgus had said, we would be able to leave at nightfall. Which is
Maybe
when he comes back.
Yes. He still doesn't know it's me, but
Both the description, he
couldn't
could
take the
easily
chance,
put two and
as
two together.
there's not many people that have red hair and green eyes
Yes.
here. But the thing is, I don't know where you'll go. I can leave now, but I don't know where you'll go. Will you go back to Valaki?
Hopefully I can make it there. If you go now and I leave later on, I don't know when I will actually get you there.
What do you plan we do then? In the meantime,
We could try.
what should we plan to do before nightfall?
The only thing that I could think of is trying to change your appearance, but he also knows what you've looked like beforehand. He's seen you.
Change my appearance.
Yes, and the only way that I know how is if we have some kind of disguise kit, which I don't have, and I don't know if you have, or a much more drastic measure, but it's the only one that I can think because there's no dye here, is we cut your hair off. But then again, there's no chance to change the eye color, so there's still that. So really, no option is good.
You hear a chirping from the corner.
I just look
Can we help you? Sorry?
She walks away. And in a moment, she comes back with Borgus.
What? Says the Abbott could change his eyes. Hair. Oh yeah, we could dye the hair if you want.
You have hair dye.
Well, you just you get your ink and then you just put the ink.
You have the ink for that then?
Yeah, we can find some ink.
Is it permanent?
Never really done it before. It's our idea, crafty thing.
It's gotta be artist's brother.
I call her ink, but that's just the kind of the sound she makes.
He's still gonna know it's me. I have the same outfit. I have green eyes. Who knows? It's
Yes, but it at least doesn't match the description is the only thing. What he does. And
But he already
he's
has
already
met
seen
me,
you.
and
Yes.
he's already seen me with red hair.
I don't know, maybe you should just go then. I really don't want to be just left alone here, honestly. But it is the
I
best
don't-
option.
How about we
Maybe
just? Rillirn, I don't want to leave you either. I don't want to leave you here at all. Let's just wait it out. I'll wait with you. We have a lot to catch up on anyway. And before nightfall, if we haven't come up with a better plan, I can leave right before and possibly watch at a distance. I don't know where you're going. You are still in control at night, or is he fully in control?
We share control at night now.
So that means you could potentially still go back to Valaki. You're gonna need your spell book. That could be an entice enough to lead him back there.
Yes, hopefully. He does seem to find me useful now. Which is a start, I guess.
From what? What made him change his mind?
That battle with Mordenkainen.
Yes, that would change his mind. That is quite a spell, though.
Don't know what it was. Just amazing though. Just a rush, really. Yes, no, yes, we can figure out when it happens. If it really comes down to it and he ends up trying to take full control, I will stop him as best I can for you to run away. But I can't
Or-
do much.
I don't know. Do you think I'll stay as I'll stay, but
I mean, stay as long as you want. I don't want to keep you here
No,
when I know
well,
you're going to
Rillirn,
put it
you're
in
my
danger.
friend. And I will stay with you here, but when the time comes, I do need to leave.
I need to get this.
You
It's
can make
become
it
more of a
safely.
nuisance than useful.
Can you make it safely to Valaki? With him leading you at night?
He claims that he can keep the body safe.
It's not too far. It is really a straight shot. Sort of.
Yes.
And I can get a ride, I'm sure. So don't worry about
From
me.
who? Who would you get a ride from?
Probably the Fistani.
Is this Lonnie over here? I had met the burgomaster of Krezk. He was not very kind. But if you think you can get a ride, if it really comes down to it, go for it.
I'm not afraid. I think I'll be okay. Really. I'm not worried about it. I'm more worried about you.
How long till you leave?
What time is it? Would I know?
Difficult to say. You know it's morning. The day started relatively clear, if not just hazy. You think it might be around. It might be around 10 in the morning.
How bad is the storm outside?
It's pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
You don't see.
Wait.
You can't see down to the village below. All you see is this kind of swirling eddies of snow as it spins off the mountainside. Are you looking out the window?
Yeah.
I was just assuming I would just want to stay there and then us talk through.
Go ahead and both of you roll for perception.
Oh, that was real low.
Pretty
4.
4.
What'd you get?
20.
Oh, nice.
Not a 20. 17 plus 3.
So,
Sorry.
I think I got more excited if it was 20.
I get close, but not quite.
I'll just
With
roll it
that.
tonight.
Nah, I heard that.
You're staring there out into that wind when you see something swirling around, folding, falling. It whirls around for a bit. Something black, a piece of cloth perhaps, as it spins there in the wind, lost. You look closer and you recognize it to be a raven out there in the storm, caught in the wind.
There's a raven out there.
a raven?
Yes.
I'll go out.
No, yes, I'll go out too.
No.
then.
Rillirn, you stay here. I can handle the cold.
I have fur on my legs now. Maybe I can stand it somewhat. We'll find out.
All right.
I want to see. I want to
Okay.
see this.
Then come up here.
Okay.
We got the front door.
Yeah, you both step outside and instantly that wind as it comes rushing past you. You see it there, still flittering around in the wind, but it seems to be getting closer and closer. The raven is mottled and all in disarray as it finally comes close enough, hovering there in the wind, fighting it before you.
Can I reach up for it?
Yeah, sure. You do that as it bats its wings. Reaching out its talons, it finally grabs onto your hand and latches onto your fingers. And with it, carries something.
There's multiple.
Wow.
With it, it carries 2 rolled up scrolls.
Oh.
You want to take turns reading them out loud? Or do you want to go inside and read them?
Let's go inside and
Yeah.
do these. Yes.
Okay, you hold them as
And
the
then
bird sort of like picks one up in its mouth and hands it to you, and then it reaches over trying to hand the other one to Rillirn. The wind batting it, continues to bat its wings until finally you take it and it leaps off from your hand and takes off into the air. There it flitters out across the snow drifts until it disappears in the haze. Alright, you step back inside.
I'm gonna just stare down at my note for a little bit.
Okay, Rillirn, what do you do? Okay, she's reading her note. Are you standing outside and reading your note?
I can handle
Yeah.
the cold. Are you feeling it? Are we feeling this?
Yeah, how much
Yeah,
does this affect you
the
guys?
wind is hurting terribly. It's just whiplashing you. It feels like you're being sandblasted by crystals of ice as they slide off the building and the snow drifts pelting you, turning your skin raw and red. Yeah, your eyes are stinging. You can hardly open them
Oh.
in the wind.
Okay, I'm going inside.
Let's
Get
go.
back inside.
Let's go. And we go inside.
You'll catch your dad out there.
Thank you.
You see the man kind of go,
Oi, you coming back inside?
Yeah. Oh.
you stepped in.
Yeah.
He yells back at you.
Come on, hurry. I've got to close the doors.
I'm coming. I walk right in.
With that, he kind of falls down to the ground, shakes off the snow again.
Oh, you'll catch your death, you'll catch mine too.
He goes kind of rumbling off, grumpy,
Sorry.
growling like a bear as he kind of heads back inside and goes down the hall,
Warm up in here.
leaving you two alone. Who would like to read their letter first?
Rillirn.
I'll read mine. Alright. Rillirn, I bid you and your counterpart join me for dinner at my castle in 2 days' time. Arrangements have been made for your safe and uneventful passage, and I trust you will forward your own comfort for that of the lady who accompanies you. Look for my personal carriage at the city gates. As the daylight comes to retire, I expect you as well to retire to the private chamber provided by my coachman. Details will be discussed upon their relevancy, and all will be made clear in time. Know that I wish you no harm, and harbor fewer ill intentions than you yourself harbor already. Sincerely, S. I do read that aloud
Yeah.
too, so. I assume your note is from the same author?
Yes.
No, something.
Shut up.
It says, Tatiana, I pray you forgive my hurried departure. It seems my forbearance to tempt fate by the reading of fortunes has been proven wise, yet here I am writing to you now as the fool who does not heed his own advice. I bid you trust that my watchful eyes have not left you even at such a distance. Still, I can hardly stand to depart for long, so I request that you and your companions join me for dinner at my castle in 2 nights. Expect a black carriage near the city gates. S.
That stands for said by the way.
I guess the timing of that dinner has been picked.
2 nights.
That's soon.
Rillirn. I think I don't think he means you harm. From the note,
No.
at least.
No, yes, it's just both relieving and terrifying, but what he also knows about Vladimir, it would seem
Yeah. Has
I still worry about it though. Like,
in what way? Vladimir? I think
Vladimir.
Vladimir is what we should worry about.
no, yes, that is what I'm worried about. I mean,
Since it's at night. Is that
yes.
what you mean?
I mean, it's a dinner. That's too close for my own comfort. As much as I want to go there, I'm terrified to go there with him.
I think you'll be safe. I really do. I don't think it. I know it. I know you'll be safe.
That part I could care less about right now. I worry for the safety of the both of you then. You and Amadeus. Because if Vladimir goes out of control, who knows what Strahd could do to the two of you then?
Who knows if he'll even come? We don't even know where
That
he
is
is.
true. Amadeus probably won't even come.
We don't know where he is. As of now, does it say Velaki in yours?
It does not.
I request the companion's
It
service
would
dinner
be
at
amazing
the
if this note was
near
also
the city
for...
gates. What city? I assume. Well, it's here.
I would assume...
Your city that you're in right now.
Yes.
Is this for tonight?
No,
Would
it's
we be
2
able-
nights from now.
So we stay here for 2 nights and then we're
Yes.
picked up?
It says near the city, and we're here.
No?
You go to
It
the
is
city
tonight.
gates. He expects you for dinner in 2
Yeah.
nights.
Wait,
Go to the city gates. He expects you for dinner in 2 nights. He sent a coachman to pick
Okay,
you up.
that is
You're about
what
2
it
days
is.
ride from Castle Raven.
Ah, so 2 nights. Oh, thank you.
okay.
I was like, wait.
Gotcha,
so
gotcha,
I was
gotcha.
accepting it in 2 nights.
Okay,
You said the
I
same thing.
thought
We
that
thought
it
the
was
same
for
thing.
tonight, but
Okay.
No, okay, I got
Oh,
I
okay,
gotcha.
reverse. Okay. I think this is a better option than the ones we were trying to come up with.
Travel has been planned. But still just a separate room and in a carriage? If he sees even a
He is-
glimpse of you, I can't let that happen. But I also can't really stop it.
I think this is the best plan. Really. I don't think you should worry about me.
God, I just gotta get rid of this damn thing.
Hopefully, maybe Strahd would help. He could.
Yes. I'd like to check and see if I have my raised dead spell on me still, or is it just? It's
Yeah, you
gone
could
right
look
now,
as
right?
you look for it. Yeah, it's gone.
What?
That is a problem.
What?
I believe I know where it is,
Believe what? Where what is?
but I do not have the raised dead spell scroll on me, which is quite the necessity.
Freeze. Back in that memory that
Yes.
you have, he used that raised it
He
spell
did
on
use
you.
that spell.
Yes, he used it. He
Oh,
glanced
okay.
at it for a moment and cast it.
Okay, so that
immediately.
was him using it.
It was, yes.
Okay, I couldn't
Who?
tell for
The
sure.
guy
yes.
who's in charge of this Abbott?
The Abbey did it. The Abbey.
So
the
that-
Abbess
Abbott.
did it.
So that
Yeah.
gets rid of that.
Your cousin.
Okay.
But that gets rid of the scroll then, right?
Yeah, the scroll is.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
So that was used then.
dinner at Ravenloft.
And with that, we're gonna go to Amadeus.
How the hell do I get him out? Dude, that's sick. That's legit.
That is so shit.
Oh my
That was well written, must I say.
god. Might I add? Well written.
You sit there in the study of Lady Voctor. You've had your tea and your biscuits, they're laid out before you. Ernst stands there in the corner, and Lady Voctor, she sits at a desk with monocles about. Yes, it seems you're short on both accounts.
Yes.
I'm sorry, which one did you want, dear?
Was house 4? What was the other one?
There was the first house that had,
I like the other two.
there was one that was made nearly all of stone with shingled roof, and then there was one that was a stucco Tudor style that had a thatched roof, and yeah.
I mean, both of them are lovely. But if
If you could go down on house 4 to 13. Much appreciated.
well,
13's all we have.
let me see. It sold for quite a bit more than that just a few years past. Might you sweeten the pot? I don't know. What else might you attribute as equity?
What are you looking for?
Got it right.
I myself am
Yeah.
trying to be known as a well-established businesswoman. And perhaps if you might offer some boon of some sort. I don't know. It is an awful lot of money. 1,000 gold off. 2,000 gold off.
You're
Dear, what else do you have?
I'm being honest, not much.
I know. The city guard. It's in an awful state. Since Isaac left, I need someone I can trust.
Are you asking me to be a guard?
I'm asking you to be the head of the guards. Make the schedules, see that they're on their duties.
I see. I don't have much experience in that field, but
You're a well-respected man who can clearly handle himself. Show off a bit, push a man around, they'll fall in line. What do you say?
so you got a deal.
Really? Oh. We can sign it off right now, I say.
Take the lucky stance.
further.
That is so funny.
And for you, sir, to sign.
Yes.
And make sure you file these away. This one's for me to hold for documentation.
Rillirn's signature.
And you're going to need this. You'll have to, signature on these two. Yes, initial this one, please. Very well. Of course, the funds. Do you have the money?
Of course.
Oh, of course. Let's see. Certainly. Ernst, count this out. Make sure it is all settled. I trust you, dear. Congratulations. She goes and holds up the piece of paper and offers it to you, rippling it in the air.
Yeah, I wish I would have read that. I think
Homeowner.
that was a mistake.
Well, I expected your wife to be here for the signature.
She's resting.
Make sure she signs that as well, so that she's going deed. Unless, of course, you who am I to tell you what to do with your money? Maybe she's crazy. Go do your own thing.
Of course. Thank you.
Of course, dear. Come see me again. Town guard. When do you suppose you might start?
Guess I can start as soon as tomorrow.
Tomorrow. That should do nicely. Yes. Okay. I suppose you round up the guardsmen. I'll have Ernst file out letters to each of their households. They would meet you in the barracks tomorrow at 7?
7 sounds good.
Perfect. All right. It's settled. A deal. Businesswoman indeed. She stands up, pushes out her skirt, smiles at you. Ernst then goes and opens up the door, creaking.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
We just
Well,
Look at you, homeowner, buying all the houses. Very good. Then, oh, you're going to need this. He goes and hands you the keys.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Is there just one?
Yeah.
Just the one? Do you have any spares?
And just the one. And if that's the wrong one, come back. I'll switch it out.
Sounds good.
Yeah. If you need someone to take out that stain, you might try perhaps the carpenter. He's down row 5 in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ernst, for taking me around today.
Of course, sir. Of course. How often? Keep the chill out.
Okay.
He closes the door behind you.
Can I hit the carpenters before I head back to Blue Water?
Sure. Yeah. You go over there and you see a man.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Could you possibly fix the floor for me? It's
Could I
stained.
possibly? I would love to fix your floor, sir. Just tell me. Where?
Like freaking first or whatever that.
Yeah,
Fourth or
you're on First Street.
First, are you right about that?
Dude, I'm just spitting out numbers.
Yeah, I just bought a house over there.
Perfect. Yeah.
Just
Is that your key then? You should say it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. First number 113. Yeah. Right then. I have a busy schedule today on perhaps later this week. Perhaps I come by again and I'll come fix your floor, sir. Do you know what wood it might just be?
I do not know.
No. Well, I'll come by and consult you first, and then we will take it all out, put it all in, and it will be good as new.
Perfect. How much is that?
Oh, it costs what it costs when I see it, of course.
You just let me know.
Of course, I will come see it, and I will let you know. Of course.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Certainly, sir. Certainly. As you walk off down that street again, back towards the Blue Water Inn, you get a strange sense about the air above you, stirring. You know the sound of it, the beating of wings. And as you look up, you nearly jolt and set aside as a raven comes landing at your feet. It looks up at you. Ah! It looks worse for the wear. Its feathers, many of them pulled. You see its eye on its left is glossed over with cataracts. But the way he caws at you, he takes 2 hops forward and then flies up and lands on top of your shoulder, nuzzling into the side of your face.
You can fly with
It
him
is
now,
Stefan.
too.
Seriously.
You can talk with him.
Ooh, maybe I'll take his arm and put it on Linda's.
Wait a second.
Where's the Abbott?
And with
Thanks,
that,
dude.
you see, in your surprise, you hadn't realized he'd been carrying a note. Go ahead and read that out loud when you're ready.
Wait, would we have recognized it was Stefan?
You didn't.
Dang it. Was it?
It was.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Wow.
Just some bird.
Hey.
Some
Can I go back to Blue Water and
Sure.
read this?
Certain.
No, read
Like the
it.
Rita Flanor, you know?
You walk back in.
The ugly bark.
Danica and the boys, you hear them upstairs. They're in her room. You think by the sound of it, there's some sort of argument going on between the two, and she raises her voice, and then it goes quiet. You walk in, and you actually see she's sitting at a booth downstairs. She's looking down at a plate of food. It's been half eaten. Her stature small. She sits there just staring down at her plate.
walk over to her.
She looks up to you.
How are you doing?
She just puts her head on your shoulder there. Did you find anything?
I did. I purchased a house for us.
She looks up at you. You can see her face red, her eyes glossed over after clearly she'd been crying before.
There's just stain on the floor, but we can fix it. I've already talked to the carpenter.
It's all that character.
But we were a little short on gold, so I did make a deal.
What's with the deal?
Oh. Let's just say I'm head of the guards now.
You are.
Yes.
It'll be good. You'll keep you around. Yes.
Well, yes, it will. I also did get a letter. I
What do you
haven't
mean?
read it yet. Figured I would wait and read it with you.
From who?
It just says S at the end. But I think we know who that is. Do you
Proceed.
It says, Amadeus, please accept my sincere condolences. What then is a pear tree which bears no fruit? A rose that does not blossom, a sun that does not rise. So is a bird that does not fly. I have found that few things in this world are not transitory, and fewer things cannot be bargained for. The only question then is at what price? I write to you bearing tidings of good news. The cost is little. You are a wealthy raven. Come, join me for dinner, and may the light of the morning Lord be ever with you on your travels. Yes.
That one's good.
Yeah.
You don't need to go, do you?
Where did I send
But
I think I do.
Why?
that? He offers an arm.
brings the Abbott with him.
We have plans. We could end this. I mean, come on.
How? How do you?
We were just attacked. Who knows what? They could attack again at any point.
I don't like it.
It's just a thought.
You do this for your sister.
No. Not anymore. I just want to live a peaceful life. I don't feel like I can do that. Having my head turned looking behind me all the time.
Okay. I trust you.
He doesn't know
Yeah, I was gonna say, he didn't tell you.
when. He doesn't. Maybe that was on purpose.
Yeah. He just wants you to show up at some point.
Just show up there waiting the whole time.
But with that, it's 9:31, and we'll have to wait for next time.
Planted perfectly.